just finished watching the metaverse and how we'll build it together, Connect 2021. As of right now, just immediately started this recording. You can't see them, but there are tears. There are tears flowing out of these ducks. That keynote, Connect 2021, I'm just recently learning about philosophy in depth. Western philosophy. Just learned about Greek civilization all of 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, maybe. Stuff that is very significant and relevant to our history as human beings. Western society, we focus on like Plato, Aristotle. The other one, we talk about Rome as a civilization. That's a big part of our history. We talk about our coming from Africa. That's maybe the root of our history. Scratch that, maybe it is the root of our history. Everything starting in Africa. This Connect 2021, this is up there. Philosophy, our genes, Darwinism, space, getting to the moon. Connect 2021, October 28th, 2021. That's the day that it was posted, that I saw it. Marks our transition into what I can't even call the future anymore, because I'm here. Society 5.0, that's what it's called. Society 5.0. Now that we're in Society 5.0, the things that we used to conceptualize and were familiar with about science fiction itself, it's just so hard to grasp. It's so hard to grasp because we're here. This technology shows that all things are possible. Truly, truly, truly. So what do we know? We know that in between from now, the declaration of the metaverse, it's officially, it's the debut of the metaverse, and we know the eventual AI singularity that is approaching. We are here. We are right here. Right here. There is so much that is going to happen that will determine the truths that humanity has been searching for, all decided in this time period. Me and you and me, we're alive right now in this period. And when I say determined, I mean after this point, it's looking like it's looking like life is over. Once we get to the singularity, like we cannot see over this horizon, and it's just a simple question of either we did right or we did wrong. And if we did wrong, maybe we'll do better next time. But right now, we are live. There are so many opportunities that this technology has brought that it almost causes me to enter a nihilistic frame of mind and then immediately into an optimist. Because, I think, there are so many opportunities in this world available to me, the commoner. So there's no excuse on why I'm not achieving what I want to achieve, which at first is depressing. But then you realize that there's no reason that I should be afraid to fail. There's no reason that I should feel as though there are limits on my capabilities. Capabilities now are limitless. Limitless. And now, right here, even though the technology isn't fully fleshed out yet, even though we're just at the start, what happens from here on out, the groundwork, the foundation, that's the most important part. It's not going to matter when we're over here, right up to the singularity. It's not. What matters is how strong our foundation is. I took some notes. Meta, right? So, as a business, it's essentially a marketplace. That's all it is. It's just a marketplace. A marketplace that houses all of these other applications and experiences and services and products. It just houses all that stuff. So let's look into all the stuff that it's housing, or the stuff that it's let's look into it, right? So, big points that they made is that they started with the fact that this is going to be revolutionary for the gaming ecosystem. Very happy that Mark said the things he did about gaming, because I feel like it's the thing that's going to allow everyone to, if Mark said it, everybody's going to know now. But gaming ecosystems, gaming is so significant because it is the science of creating experiences. Like, your being alive is your experience. Matter of fact, your consciousness is just the knowing of experience. What does that say about gaming? What does it say about someone who literally spends their lives designing alternate experiences, alternate consciousnesses? Essentially is what they're doing. They're allowing you to live through different perceptions and senses. And up until now, they could only do that through 2 dimensions. Even with the graphics, it's still 2-dimensional because we have to look at a screen. We can never be there. The next steps for gaming is a two-part process. Yes, we get the metaverse, but the metaverse is going to be the foundation for neural interface access. So all this stuff is going to be crazy. It's going to be significantly more advanced than anything that we've had. But the stuff that's probably going to come right here in the after the first third, I guarantee you they're going to be like Facebook. It's not even going to be called Quest. It's going to be called Facebook, whatever. Facebook Quest, or the Quest, now interoperable with Neuralink. Just spitting here, Neuralink. What's most likely going to happen is there will be a new console entirely where you don't even need a screen. You don't need your eyes. You don't need glasses to use the product. All you need is the product and the experiences within your skull. The skull, bro. This is the technology that they're working on. This is the technology that they're setting up for. I mentioned philosophy at the beginning because our one true goal of just our one true reoccurring purpose in humanity is just understanding the internal world. And that's what we're doing right now. We're developing the sciences first to put ourselves in a virtual world, to make it as immersive as possible, to make it as normal, to make it as familiar as the internal. And the next step is just going into the internal. Literally, Tesla, the day that science studies things that are non-physical, they will make more leaps than all of mankind. That's what we're doing. That's the technology that's leading to studying the non-physical. When I can load in my own mind, I'll say less. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, I realize that they had a great foundation just for this keynote. Because the first thing they talked about was the most significant thing. Because I mean, there's nothing else that's really as significant. Everything else is kind of like, this is kind of like a step that still applies to our normal lives. But I'll continue. Remote work. This is something that is just no brainer because we're going into remote work. We've been in quarantine. Quarantine has just increased innovation for us to have these types of tools. So it's very much needed and expected that we would have a hybrid, style, and hopefully the glasses would make things much more seamless and give us more convenience in our lives, give us more time back, and freedom with our work and what we do for work. Education. Education is a very big one. It's a very big one because at the moment, nothing really bubbles up in mind. Even though I am excited for it, nothing really bubbles up to my mind because the way in which education is going to be facilitated through the metaverse, I really can't imagine. I really can't, because I've only ever known traditional education. I don't think all in the metaverse will be quite good because I do feel. Well, I mean, I was gonna say I do feel that there's this connection of being in person, but after seeing the keynote, like he pretty much simulated that with the guy who had the full body avatar that was hyper realistic. He literally he moved his hand to the camera and I flinched just from that. So I mean, I don't know. Big things for education. Creator economy. Now this is a big one. This is probably the second biggest point. Creator economy is going to be absolutely crazy because in our society we need art is essentially the expression of consciousness. It's the expression of consciousness, and we need creators who create these mediums and these expressions. So the fact that we can finally allow for creators to have a way where they can support themselves, I think is going to lead to a society where I think is exactly what we needed for the society that we're entering, where AI and robots are just going to take over a majority of the mundane jobs instead of just having the majority of people. Here's the shift, right? Here's the shift. Beginning of civilization, we were an agriculture society. Everybody spent their entire day farming. Swipe. Now we are a sedentary work, computer. We're a sedentary system civilization. As in sedentary meaning that I'm sitting right now. All day I have to sit. I have to interact with a screen to do anything. If I'm working, if I'm at school, if I'm playing a game, I have to sit down. So I'm not moving. I'm not doing labor anymore. I'm sedentary interacting with a screen. Third level, Society 5.0, we don't have to have everybody working. Instead, we can focus on deeper meaning, and we can have the majority of society being creators. And at first, you might think, we need people to do certain jobs, but at that point, it's not a job. If I don't think it's unreasonable to say that 99% of all jobs require you to do sedentary labor. If you're not a farmer, if you're not doing manual labor, even if you're a politician, you're, I don't know, someone significant to society, you're sitting down and you're having to interact with a screen. With the creator economy, it won't be a good job anymore. It's just what are you going to create? Oh, fuck. Dropped my pen. I broke it the other day, so I hope it's good. Yeah, that's fine. So with the creator economy, you can literally you're a creator. You're not a worker anymore. You're not an employee. You're a creator. You're a freelance creator. You're a freelance creator who is a part of an organization of other freelance creators. So you're not even part of a business anymore. You're part of an organization. You're part of a community. The era of wage slave is going to come to an end. We finally have the tools for a society that reflects the Renaissance, except instead of only the 1% of rich people being able to enjoy that society, we're giving everybody the tools to be a creator, a human being, to just express. And that's what we fundamentally do. That's fundamentally our purpose, to express our experience. All of humanity, that. I'll say less. The last two things I'll touch on are things that I find very interesting. First, real quick, interoperability is obviously the keystone of this whole thing to make this work. Facebook is really going to need... I'm sorry, not Facebook. This industry, the metaverse. I just realized the word metaverse supersedes the word industry. I can't even call it an industry. It's a whole nother reality now that I'm thinking about it. It's a whole nother economy. I'll just say metaverse. The metaverse, I'll just refer to it as metaverse. Sorry, that blew me away. The development of the metaverse. Yeah, so interoperability. It needs interoperability to function, because you're gonna have so many different intellectual properties, so many different systems, so many different rights, ownership, things that need to be okay with each other being in different platforms. And right now, that's like, Smash Ultimate is an example of how difficult it could be to get intellectual property all in one single place. So that's going to need a lot of work, and hopefully that'll encourage the governments around the world to realize that they need to change their system and whatever. But the two meaty things, the neural interface on the wrist, that's a big deal. Talked about the neurons in our wrist that we just don't use. That's spooky, almost like we were designed to use them for that. That's a whole different industry on its own. That's like how Tesla basically had to basically vertically integrate into the car industry, and had to make every part of Tesla is a whole different part that is an industry that they can monetize. So all the equipment they use to make those cars, they could sell. Even though they're a car company, they're also a battery company, they're an AI company, they're a million different things company. That's what this neural interface, thing is going to lead to. Not just for, I can move my workspace around. I can't even imagine the things that'll come from just having a wrist neural interface in just everyday life. So, the glasses. So, there's a part, the keynote, where a woman is holding a birdhouse or a dollhouse and a cup and a bowl around a room that's pre-rendered into virtual reality, so that in real time, everything she does is you could just see in virtual reality. Smooth. And then she says, hey, I don't know what it's called, but she's like, hey, Facebook, where's my favorite cup? And it shows exactly where in the room her cup is. That's not metaverse anymore. That's smart home. That's the smart home industry. And now, the smart home, metaverse, smart home, physical verse, it is literally like a torus sphere. It's the intersection point of the metaverse and the real world. When my home not only is self-aware of itself, but can also collapse into itself to become a whole different world entirely, and take me to any metaverse world just from me sitting in my chair right here. I could sit in my I could I'm underneath my bed right now, but like I could literally, if I had my whole room mapped out, if I had a smart room, I could be here. I could have my smart AI, house AI, tell me everything about my room, everything about what I need, my contents, and then I could just go to like a concert, a virtual concert. So, all this to say, it's a lot, but I mean, I guess I'll speak on me now. I mean, I'm just every day I'm grateful to have been born in this generation. I have no regrets. Don't want to live anywhere. I would not want to be born in any other time. Uh, I'll say to my fellow Gen Zs, it can be depressing at times because, like I said, there's so many opportunities. It's overwhelming. It's easy to be overwhelmed. And FOMO, FOMO is our curse. Fear of missing out of everything. But this is a good thing because now it just means we have more support on our journey in narrowing on the star that we're focusing on, the dream that we want to make come true. We just have more support to do that. And all these other things that are happening, all these innovations, should serve as a reminder of how critical it is to stay focused on one thing. So, it'll definitely be a journey, but it's a great journey. And while we're here, we just got to make the best of it. Be the most conscientious of our decisions and how they impact the whole, and not forget that the metaverse cannot exist without the physical universe. What truly matters, what makes this technology so significant, is that it's facilitating connections between humans. And it's the connections between individuals that matter, not the individuals. It's the connections, the things that aren't material, not the people. The connections between the people, the relationships, our relationship to one another. But yeah, I'm hyped. Very, very hyped.